She was pressed by a different congressperson about all the different things that you may or may not be allowed to teach in American universities. Listen to this.
Would the Harvard government department be compelled to hire faculty that believe the 2020 election was stolen?
I believe that there are rights to freedom of speech, but on campuses and universities of colleges and universities across the country, freedom of speech should be allowed.
Does refusing to hire a Holocaust denier as a member of Harvard's history department faculty count as an ideological litmus test?
I believe that there should be diversity of viewpoints relative to teachings and opinions on campuses.
A diversity of viewpoints about Holocaust denying?
That's not what she said. That's not what she said. That's not at all what just happened there.
Hold on.
She's saying that college faculty are uniformly partisan, liberal, progressive radicals.
All right.
And that's
I guess
true.
let me just read again what was just said. The question, does refusing to hire a Holocaust denier as a member of Harvard's history department count as an ideological litmus test? She says, I believe there should be diversity of viewpoints relative to teachings and opinions on campus. I don't understand.
She was not answering what is a patently ridiculous question. And no Republican should take any lectures about anti-Semitism right now from Democrats.
But why on earth would she not be able to answer that question?
She has the same answer that every Republican has had for time immemorial. Why isn't there any diversity of viewpoint in the faculty at a college?
So what is the answer?
It was a joke of a question.
Okay.
It was a joke of a question.
So what's the answer?
Deserve an answer.
What's the answer?
The answer
is it an ideological litmus test to have a Holocaust denier be asked to ask?
Is there an ideological litmus test that you have to believe in progressive radicalism to get hired now? Because that's what it seems like to us.
Holocaust denialism.
That's the box they have to check.
Which is card-carrying, textbook anti-Semitism. You
she
think
wasn't responding
doesn't
to
count?
That. She wasn't responding to that, and is a patently ridiculous assertion.
Why are you assuming that she wasn't responding to that when she gave
that
answer?
Because I'm a thinking human being who can see what a rational person would say to a ridiculous question.
She didn't say that's a ridiculous question.
You were totally misconstruing this.
Scott, literally, we played it for the American people to see.
Yeah, and every single person's going to see it my way.
She literally did not answer. She did not answer the question the way you want to answer the question, and that question has an answer. What is the answer?
The answer to that question is you're an idiot. To that congressman. That is the answer to that question.
What is the answer? Will the federal government, if somebody comes in and says, I don't believe the Holocaust really happened, will the federal government bring the hammer down on universities for saying that is not a viewpoint that we are allowing on our campuses?
The question would be
that the answer ought to be no, but it sounds like neither of you want to give an answer.
No, the answer ought to be what kind of litmus test is Harvard putting on its faculty now?
Yes.
Only 3% of its faculty are Republicans.
I mean, she didn't have a note card in front of her to tell her the answer, and this is what happens when you have somebody who lied about having an education degree. They didn't teach about the Holocaust maybe when she was getting her French degree.
If
she actually has that.
Look, we also didn't even.
You're accusing her of being a Holocaust?
Hold on a second.
This is outrageous.
Excuse me,
I'm
Scott.
not going to say that.
Stop. Everybody stop. Everybody stop for a second. Excuse me, Scott. Nobody accused her of being a Holocaust denier.
You're implying that that's what she wants.
No one did that.
Implying.
It is completely.
The line of inquiry here
just
is an
stop for just a
implication
second.
that she's like, sure,
it is
let's do that.
completely disingenuous for you to sit at this table and say that we accused her of being a Holocaust denier.
I think it's disingenuous to portray this interaction the way you are.
Absolutely no one said that. It is
How
disingenuous.
How are you portraying it?
It's disingenuous. It's disrespectful.
I think the question was disingenuous.
Excuse me.
It was a disingenuous question.
How is it a disingenuous question? The other part of the question is, if you are an election denier, and Harvard said you can't be an election denier and teach at this school, is that a litmus test?
The question is, what litmus test is Harvard putting on its faculty?
Okay,
we know they have one
we gotta
set of
go,
ideology.
but it is very clear that neither of you want to answer a very simple question.
So now you're accusing us.
Are you allowed?
Are you accusing us?
Are
you accusing him and me?
Is Harvard allowed, or any school, is any school allowed to say that these are facts, and if you don't believe in facts, you cannot teach here? Are they allowed to do that?
The question is, what is the litmus test today? And what kind of faculty do you want?
My
do you want
question.
people who all have the same views or a
when you
diversity
answer
of
my
views?
question with a question, you are dodging.
When
So
you
answer
ask me,
the
when you ask
question.
me questions that I think are kind of ridiculous framing of this issue, then I think
How
you're
is it a
misconstruing the
ridiculous
issue.
framing?
Because
You either believe that there are things that are facts or you don't.
I do believe in facts, and I
Okay.
also believe that that member of Congress was creating a disingenuous, ridiculous question designed for this gotcha moment right here.
Okay, it is very telling that you are not able or willing to even entertain an answer. You could answer the
gave you
question
an
right
answer.
now and you
Harvard has a
refuse
right-
to do it.
Wait a minute.
Look,
No, Harvard has a right to have any litmus test they want for their faculty. They're a private institution.
Okay, all right. Well, there's the answer to your question. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate that.